In this video I will show you how to beat 10 world bosses that you're gonna meet as a beginner. Now just like you, I don't have a perfect setup for each boss, so I'm gonna show you the way I do it, and most importantly just let you know the most important things you need to know to make sure you don't fail the mechanics or specific or unique things to the boss that you need to know. And so without wasting time, let's begin. And so we're gonna begin with Anemo Hypostasis. He's the closest boss that you're gonna find to the beginner zone, probably the first one you're gonna encounter. He's located right here, and you're gonna spawn right here, so that's a pretty close location. Now for him really you don't need to know anything specific. Whatever he's doing, just avoid, it's really not that difficult, run away a little bit. Whenever he's not attacking, you attack him. Just don't bring wind abilities, because that's not gonna do anything to him. The most important thing with him is just to have DPS really, that's it. Whenever he does his random attacks, just walk, honestly. You barely need to even run. Whenever he spawns his tornadoes, just run here to the side, doesn't matter which one. And when he's done you can just go back really quick and just finish him off. It's really not that difficult. There's really only one thing you need to know. Whenever he's about to be dead, he's gonna spawn these things. All you need to do, just fly up on the current and grab them. And that's it. If you're gonna collect all of them, I'm gonna specifically leave one. As you can see, he recovered some amount of HP. Now, if I would have collected them all, he would have recovered less. He would still recover a little bit, but in case he recovered more, all you have to do is just wait around a little bit. Whenever he's open, just attack him again, collect the last piece, and don't be surprised that he recovers a little bit of HP, that's normal. When he's doing this attack, you can actually get closer and attack him, and you can finish him off. And that's it, collect your rewards. So that was pretty simple, let's move to the next one. The next one we're gonna do is Cyro Regisvine. He's located right here, you can just teleport here, run a little bit here to the sides, and there's gonna be this big nice gap to fly down. Now for this one, once again, there's nothing too much to know. Actually, it's even less to know. All you need to do is just DPS him, really, that's it. Again, don't bring any ice characters, they're not gonna do anything to him. Ideally, you probably would bring like a lightning or fire abilities, but it doesn't matter too much. As you can see, I'm even bringing ice character because, again, as long as you can DPS him, doesn't matter. You just need to defeat these little things that spawn. One spawns here on the lower end, and then once you defeat this, another will spawn on the top of his head. Once you defeat that little thing, he's gonna go down, and then you can just DPS him as much as you can. Take as much as HP as possible. Now that he went back, he's gonna spawn one on the top of his head. Whenever he does his attacks, you can run away, but he doesn't really hit that hard. You can actually just tank. Honestly, I don't even bother, he doesn't hit that hard. But even if you don't have any range, that's not a big deal. Just attack him, you're gonna slowly defeat the shield anyway, and it's gonna be fine, don't worry about it. There's nothing specifically you need to do to defeat him, there's no specific mechanics. You don't need to collect no orbs, no nothing, it's not that difficult with him. As you can see, I'm just standing attacking in one place, I'm not even bothering to move. This one is not that difficult. I would say it's a pretty good boss to try out, because there's really nothing that you need to know and he doesn't hit that hard. And that's it, he's dead. Collect your rewards and move to the next one. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be Electro Hypostasis. You can just teleport here, climb up, and he's gonna be very close by. Now for this boy, all you need to know that at the end of the fight, he will spawn orbs just like the previous guy. However, you can only defeat these orbs with elemental attacks. That means if you use a sword, it will do nothing. You need to use your E or your Q or use elemental attacks. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to defeat him. Every other attack he does is pretty similar to Anemo Hypostasis. Just avoid DPS when he's open. He doesn't hit extremely hard, so don't worry too much about him. Again, don't bring electric characters, they will not do much damage. But other than that, really, there's nothing too much to know. He attacks pretty slowly, I mean, you can use a shift, but even without shift, you can avoid his attacks pretty easily. Whenever he does this attack, just run around. But be close to him, otherwise it's gonna be difficult to avoid this. Whenever he shoots again, just run around. And now he will spawn orbs. These orbs you can only defeat with elemental attacks. If I attack with sword, does nothing. If I attack with elemental, it dies. If you don't defeat him fast enough, he will recover HP. Then however many left, you're gonna need to defeat again and rinse and repeat until boss defeat. So whenever you see that you are about to defeat him, just make sure you have at least some of your elemental abilities ready. Something like this that could do something similar to this. and you're gonna be fine. And that's it, he's dead. Collect the rewards and move to the next fight. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be Cyro Hypostasis. Now for this one you need to do a quest, you need to do a quest in the mountains, it's a world quest. Once you do this, and that is not the easiest quest, so it might take a little bit of time until you open this one, but once you do, all you need to do is teleport here and go there, and I will show you how to defeat him. Now for him, it's actually not easy. As you can see, there's 3 things, one here, there and there. You need to light him up, otherwise you're gonna freeze. As you can see, I'm already filling a freeze bar. Now to defeat him, all you need to do is out DPS him. However, at the end, there is very specific thing that you're gonna need to do in order to defeat him, and I will show you. Now, ideally you would probably bring something like a fire and lightning theme, but honestly, bring the biggest DPS you can. I'm gonna change this guy to this guy, because this fight is actually not that easy. I would say this is a little bit more annoying boss. Most importantly, before the fight, activate these, otherwise you're gonna have extremely bad time. It's pretty much gonna be impossible to defeat him otherwise, because the bar fills out really fast. And once you do, just prepare to out DPS him. Be careful of this attack, it can actually do quite a lot of damage. Just shift away whenever he's close. Now what I like to do, when he's attacking, I just run around these close by, because otherwise you're gonna be freezing and it's gonna be super difficult. You're also gonna be slower when you're cold, you also need to keep that in mind as well. Just try to run around these whenever he's attacking to avoid the cold. Whenever he does his normal attacks, they don't hit extremely hard, but still, best to avoid. When he does this attack, you can actually come close and attack him. It's possible to do that. Now, once you got his HP down, you're gonna need a sword or something, preferably a bow. He shoots these things, all you need to do is charge your attack, and that's how you defeat him. After you throw one of these, during the second one he will attack you, and you need to throw 3 of these guys, and you will be slow because you will be cold. As you can see, I managed to do all 3, and now all I need to do is just take the rest of the HP out, and he's gonna be dead. Take your rewards. And so let's move to the next one. The next one we're gonna do is gonna be Pyro Regisvine, and it's located right here in Luai. You can teleport right here and then just run around, and there's going to be a gap right here. Now for this guy, all you need to know, just bring as many as you can water type characters, and this guy will absolutely vaporize. And that's gonna be the easiest fight of your life. Just like with the Cyro flower, you don't really need to know anything pretty much. As you can see, he's gonna be vaporizing like there's no tomorrow. Like I said, just bring water characters and you're gonna be more than fine. He doesn't do much damage, you can stand in place, it doesn't matter. It took me probably, what, 30 seconds to defeat this guy, if that much? That's it, he's done. That was the easiest fight of them all. Bring water characters and there's nothing that you need to know. And of course, collect your rewards. I collected enough today, I'm not gonna use my resin, but you know, collect your rewards and move to the next one. Next one we're gonna do is gonna be Geo Hypostasis. You need to teleport here and then run like around here and then here. To get here for the first time teleport, go here up to the mountain. You can teleport from here, then go right here. Glide as much as you can and then just run and swim the rest of the way. And it's gonna be fine, it's pretty shallow down here. Now for this guy, you will need to have specific things. Although not much, but some. The best character you can have for this guy is this lady, Noelle. Now I'm 99% sure you're gonna have her. The question is, have you leveled up her? Because I don't know if you're using her. However, her shield is gonna be extremely useful here. But more importantly, you need a character that uses a claymore. That is this big sword. Not a small sword, but a big sword. So if you don't have Noelle, really, it's not the end of the world, you just need a character that uses a big sword. For example, in my case, I can use her, or I could use Gaming because he also uses a big sword. I could do this with Gaming, but it is easier with Noelle and you're more likely to have her, so that's win-win. So let's begin. Nothing too much that you need to know except that you need DPS like always, but I will tell you what exactly you need to do when he does his specific mechanic. Whenever possible, attack him of course. When he brings these statues, you need to destroy them in order to attack him. The easiest way to do it is just put a shield and start spinning, and they will get destroyed. And the reason you need a shield is because he will attack you while you're doing this. He will not just stand in place. When he uses this attack, you can actually stand here, and that helps you. That does not only doesn't damage you, but actually it helps you. And yes, you need to remove all 4 of them to attack him. Unfortunately, that's how it is. And if you don't have Noel leveled up, that might be difficult. When he does this attack, you actually need to run away. Otherwise, you're gonna be dead. That's actually pretty strong attack. Although in theory you can use a simple sword, but it just doesn't do much damage. Again, the best thing you can do is just use Noel. Whenever he's charging, run away, because that's gonna do a lot of damage. Just move to the next statue. Once the statues are down, you're gonna need to out DPS him as fast as possible, because he will recover the statues. And once again, you will need to defeat all 4 of them. So the best thing you can do is just make sure you have your burst ready, and as soon as the statue is down, it's full on game. Just immediately. Everything you can, just use it immediately. You can attack during this phase as well, and you probably should, because again, he will recover the statues. You only have very limited amount of time. Now once you do that, you're gonna need to destroy them again. 3 of them again. But these destroy a lot quicker. However, you have a lot less time as well. If you don't destroy all of them, he's gonna recover HP. As you can see, I didn't manage to destroy 1. I didn't have enough time. And now he's gonna spawn another 4 again. And now we need to do the same thing again. So for this fight, really, it's extremely useful to have Noel that is leveled up with good artifacts, and you're gonna have much easier time. Or any other character that uses big sword. In my case, I probably would have been better off just using a Gaming, because I actually have him leveled up at least somewhat. However, for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna use Noel, because you're more likely to have her, and in case she is leveled up, that's actually a better character to use anyway. Also, her ultimate ability hits really freaking hard on these statues, so don't be afraid to use it, because that's gonna save you a lot of time. Just be sure to avoid the AoE attacks that he's using, because those hit really freaking hard. We almost defeated all 4 statues. Again, immediately, full on attack. Now he's only gonna spawn 1, because I defeated 2 previously. Defeat the last one, and you're done. That's it, the fight is done. Collect your rewards and move to the next fight. The next one we're gonna do is Oceanid. She is located right here. Once you unlock the teleport, you can teleport here and then just swim. Now for her, I usually use something like this. Although use the best you can, but you do need at least 1 electric and at least 1 Cyro to have somewhat easier time. Although fire characters work well as well, I don't have strong ones leveled up, so this is what I'm using, but Lisa is actually pretty important. Now there's gonna be times when she spawns a specific type of bird that flies up into the air, and it is impossible to hit it without using some sort of a range ability. And Lisa does a very good job, because she not only uses ranged, but she also does AoE with it. And it is electric, and they are water type, so it hits pretty freaking hard. Now if you get lucky on the run and you don't get the range type birds, you're actually gonna have much easier time. Because they are water type, they will freeze. You will not fight her directly. She will summon monsters and you will fight those. I usually summon electric bird or whatever else you can, and then just freeze these guys. They freezing pretty easily, and then you can just hit them no problem at all. As you can see, this was pretty easy. Throughout the whole fight, you will not fight her, only the minions that she spawns. The fight in itself is not too difficult, but is rather annoying. Again, freeze, superconduct, kill, no problem. Once you kill a few minions, she will remove a part of the ground, and then after a few more minions, she will remove more ground. And then after 2 minions, she will not only remove ground, but also she will spawn not 1, but 2 bursts. So you will have multiple enemies at the same time, as you can see. Don't be hesitant to use your burst abilities, because otherwise it can be difficult. As you can see, freezing here works very well. Fire does as well, but I prefer freezing, because you can freeze the monsters, and that way, even if you have multiple enemies, you can freeze them and it's not a big deal. Of course, if you have DPS, it probably will not matter, but if you don't have the best DPS, this guy does wonders here. And maybe it's not the most efficient way with him, maybe there are better ways, but out of everything I tried, I liked this way the most. Luckily this fight I did not encounter the flying birds, so this is gonna be an easy fight. But if you do, you just use Lisa, use her normal attacks, and she will do AoE damage into the air, and you will not have any issues. And her burst works wonders here as well. As you can see, if you use the burst, it will just wipe everything. And that's it, the fight is done. And you don't need to fight her. Once you defeat the minions, you can collect the rewards and the boss fight is done. I will actually take this because I need these. Although this boss fight is not too difficult, but it is super annoying. Because the minions you receive, the minions that you need to fight, they are random. So one fight can be much harder than the other. So if you get a bad time, don't be afraid to try again, because you might receive a different set of minions and it might be a lot easier the next time. That being said, let's move to the next fight. Next one we're gonna do is gonna be this guy. To get here, all you need to do is go here. Once you get here to the teleport, just fly right there, just glide your way there and you're gonna be at the boss in no time. Now with this guy, you don't need to know anything too specific, but he does hit pretty hard, so you need to be careful. The most important thing with this guy is DPS. As long as you out DPS him, you're gonna be just fine. But be careful with his attacks, he can actually hit pretty hard. As far as what to bring, your best DPS, and it doesn't matter too much. I accidentally brought Amber even though I didn't mean to, but I don't have anything on her. So I essentially fighting this guy with 3 characters, not 4. But there we go, we have what we have. She deals 1. She dealt 1, guys, 1. He can even freeze, as you can see, so having a Cyro character is not that bad right here. And once you get him on the ground, use everything you have, because this is when he's the most vulnerable. Thankfully he doesn't have any stages where you cannot attack him, like, at all. So it's not too difficult, just run around, avoid attacks, you know, basic stuff, and just deal as much damage as you can. Avoid this attack, however, this can hit pretty hard. You can still attack through it, but be careful, it will hit pretty hard. Aside from that one attack, there's really nothing that you need to know. Once he does this attack, run around a little bit, avoid, and go back to DPSing him. And that's it, he's dead. For him, there is no mechanic that you can fail and he will regenerate HP. There is no mechanic like this. DPS, 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 and you're gonna be fine. As you can see, I accidentally brought her and she has nothing. She's level 30, she doesn't have any artifacts, and this was still not too difficult. So as long as you have DPS, you're gonna be fine. Let's move to the next fight. The next one we're gonna go is gonna be this guy, Primo Geovishap. To get to him, you're gonna need to teleport here or here, whichever teleport you have. For me, that's this one. You will need to go here, climb up the building, or run around it, and all you need to do is go down here, and there's the boss. Now, with this guy, he does have some powerful attacks that can one-shot your party. When I say one-shot your party, I mean one-shot a member of the party. So with him, it's actually pretty good to have somebody like Noelle that can shield your party members. Again, she's free to play, so you're probably gonna have her, so let's use her. Now, there's no specific mechanics that you need to know. The more DPS you have, the faster you're gonna kill him, the easier of the time you're gonna have. His close range attacks are pretty powerful, so be careful. You can have a bad time, so be careful around him. Something like Cyro damages is actually pretty good to him, but honestly it doesn't matter too much. Bring DPS and you're gonna be fine. He's pretty slow and it's pretty easy to avoid his attacks. Just try to stay in the back of him and you're gonna be fine, especially if you have a shield just in case. That's why we bring Noelle, just to be sure we're good in case we miss attack or two. As you can see, he's already halfway down and it wasn't too bad. Just use the best attacks that you can. Always try to be on shield, because you never know when he's gonna use his ability that can wipe you. If you're fast enough, you might even avoid it. As you can see, I always stay behind him and it's not that difficult to beat him, because he's gonna miss most of his attacks. And that's it, he's done. There's no specific mechanics that you need to beat him, just be sure to avoid his attacks because they can one-shot you. That's why we have Noelle, so you can use a shield, just as a safety measure, that's all. And as always, collect your rewards. Now that we're done with these type of bosses, I will show you how to defeat this guy and this guy. These are 2 weekly bosses. So let's begin with the wolf. To get to the wolf, you either need to teleport here and climb up, or teleport here and run along the road. I don't like climbing, so I'm just gonna run. Another positive thing about running along this road, there's actually quite a lot of collectibles around here, as you can see. All kinds of flowers, mushrooms and whatnot, so you collect a little bit of stuff along the way. Now that we arrived at the wolf, with him, there is no specific mechanic that you need to know to defeat him. All you need to do, out DPS him, that's it. It pretty much doesn't matter what you bring. He can hit pretty hard, but only in few phases, otherwise you can just tank everything he does. In the beginning phase, you can just pretty much tank everything, really doesn't matter too much. If you want, you can run around to avoid the damage, I don't bother, he doesn't hit that hard. Especially if you have a character that can heal a little bit, then it's no problem at all. By the way, he is immune to Cyro damages, so bringing Cyro character is not the best. However, I still have a Cyro character because it doesn't matter, I will still defeat him, it's not that big of a deal. As you can see, he's immune to Cyro, so, you know, don't bother with that. Whenever he does this attack and he's ready to charge, just shift away. This will hit pretty hard. You can just stand in place and just watch him run around. When he stops, be ready to shift and shift away. If you don't, that will hit pretty hard. He will do this 3 times. You need to avoid this attack 3 times, and then he will jump in the middle, and that will actually do quite a lot of damage if you don't avoid. Now in the second phase, although he technically supposed to be stronger, I would argue he's maybe even weaker. I don't find him that strong in the second phase. Honestly, if you can bring some fire type of damages, it's gonna be probably the easiest fight of your life. He's not that difficult. He looks very scary, he looks much scarier than normal bosses, but he's not. He may look like it, but he's not. You can just pretty much defeat him with just normal attacks. You will do enough damage, and with all your abilities, it's gonna be an easy day. As you can see, I have 2 characters that cannot even damage him, and I still having pretty easy time. Like I said, just DPS, tank everything and DPS. If you're low level, run around. If you're not, DPS, and he's done, he's defeated. And as always, collect your rewards. For this one, I will use my resin, because he can drop quite a lot of good stuff, and he did, and he actually did. That's only my second 5-star piece, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. And now I will show you how to defeat the final boss. That would be the dragon that is located right here. All you need to do is teleport here in the middle. Now for this guy, ideally you would have ranged. However, although I do, but it's Amber and she's not leveled up, so we're not gonna bother with that. In case you don't, pretty much like I will show you how to defeat without it. So with this guy, all that you really need to know, collect these pieces here, jump, and wait for him to do his attacks. Just chill. Just let him do his thing. Just chill out. Don't even worry about it, chill. When he goes down, of course attack him, collect these pieces again and go back into the air and chill. When he does this attack, go to his hand and attack it. You will take a lot of damage, but you can also do a lot of damage as well. It's a high risk, a high reward. But as you can see, I defeated him, and now all you need to do is climb up and just immediately use as much damage as you can, because you only have very limited amount of time. Try to do the maximum damage that you actually can. Now once you dealt the maximum damage that you can and he gets up into the air, just do the same. When he does this, he will actually burn the ground. So what you need to do, once you're in the air or get up in the air, just fly to the next piece of the land and then fly a little bit more. You need to cross 2 pieces of land and the third one is gonna be safe again. And once again, rinse and repeat, get up into the air, wait for him to go down. As soon as he's down, just attack him with as much as you can and go back into the air and wait. Again, you cannot start attacking here, although you're gonna take a lot of damage, but this is probably when you can do the most amount of damage. Once he gets down, run on top. Again, rinse and repeat, try to do the maximum amount of damage that you can. You only have so much time. It probably gonna take you 2 or 3 times before you do enough damage. Again, stay in the air, wait for him, start damaging him. Once he goes down, you know the drill, get on top of him and do the maximum that you can. I still have 1 more time to defeat him. I didn't have my burst, that would have been enough. When he does this attack, you can avoid it, but it doesn't do much damage, you can just tank it. And he will burn the ground once again, so all you need to do is just fly away to the next piece of land. same type of deal, fly a little bit more, and fly to the next piece. This time you will need to fly on 3 pieces of land before you reach safety. And there we go, we're back on safe land. As always, collect these here, get up into the air, and wait. And now all you need to do is climb up is what I wanted to say. God damn it, I jumped. That's my bad. Now I need to do the last phase again. As always, get up, attack, and he's done. He's defeated. Challenge is complete, and collect the rewards. And yet another 5-star piece. That is absolutely lovely to see. And there we go, my friend. You defeated 10 bosses like it was nothing. And honestly, aside from a couple of them, it was pretty much nothing. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, be sure to subscribe and like the video. And if you wanna go along with my journey, I am a new player just like you can click this video and follow my journey from day 1 until where I am today. But as always, I will see you in the next Genshin video. For now, thank you for watching and take care. Bye bye.